What's up, everyone? Welcome to Maelstrom Gaming. I'm Maelstrom, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a look at the data mined abilities, talents, everything regarding Prince Kael'thas, the Sun King. I will post this link in the description below, but basically there's, on Hero Nexus, it's all the data mined abilities for Kael'thas and Johanna the Crusader. I might do a video on her as well. Her abilities look really interesting. Now, this is the first time I've actually looked at like the text of what his abilities do, but I have seen this video posted on the site as well that just previews like what the abilities look like, how they kind of interact with minions and heroes and stuff like that. But I want to take a second to actually just read through the abilities, what they do, and how they can kind of work with each other and stuff like that. What kind of synergies you can see, because there are quite a few synergies here. So his Q is Flame Strike, 70 mana, which is it's a decent amount for a 7-second cooldown. Area effect after a short delay deals some damage in an area. And Verdant Spheres increases the radius by 50% and deals more damage. Now let's talk about his trait a little bit. His trait is Verdant Spheres. Now it doesn't actually go into detail on how many Verdant Spheres you have, what's the cooldown on them, or anything like that, but basically it's an augment. Like every so often you'll have a Verdant Sphere active and you can use it with one of your abilities. I'm not sure how you use them. Like I'm not sure if maybe perhaps it's a D ability, like you press D and like, oh, your Verdant Spheres are active, your next basic ability is more powerful, or like randomly you'll generate a Verdant Sphere or something like that. So we still have to find out what exactly that means. I'm hoping it's D, like you press D and you can use a Verdant Sphere, because then you get a little more control over how your abilities interact. So bigger radius with Verdant Spheres and more damage. Living Bomb. This is probably one of the most interesting abilities. Partly, in fact, due to just it's a relatively short cooldown, but I want to know how exactly it interacts with like I don't know if it actually deals 210 damage to the target as well, because it only says, it says deal some damage over 3 seconds to an enemy, then they explode, dealing some damage, less damage, to all nearby enemies. I don't know if that means it doesn't attack or affect the target who has the living bomb. I hope it does, because that's more damage. But it'd be kind of interesting if it isn't. That it's just like an AoE around the target. Like, it's kind of cool. I think it's cool if it is that way. Anyway, casting a second living bomb on an enemy causes the previous living bomb to explode immediately, which is cool. And Verdant Spheres makes his ability cost no mana and have no cooldown. So effectively you could, like, I want to know how many Verdant Spheres you have, but if you have 3 Verdant Spheres like he has circling around his head in his model, you could cast like 4 living bombs, or 3, Verdant Spheres cast, Verdant Spheres cast, Verdant Spheres cast. No, you could cast 4 in a row. That's a lot of damage. That's 420 times 4. Or no, I don't think that actually... Yeah, that's not, because that's over 3 seconds. But technically you could do that, I suppose. 4 and 20, but it would take like 12 seconds to do. This is an interesting ability. This is very interesting. Gravity Lapse, 85 mana cooldown, 13 seconds. Skill shot stun the first enemy hit for 1.5 seconds. Now, this is a massive stun. 1.5 seconds? Holy crap. That is crazy. And Verdant Spheres causes Gravity Lapse to stun the first 3 enemies hit. You could do some crazy, dirty things with this. Like, if you get 3 heroes hit and you Flame Strike under them, and then you, like, Living Bomb? Ooh, it's dirty. Phoenix, this is one of his heroics. And it's really short, 40 seconds, 80 mana. Heroic ability, launch a Phoenix to an area, dealing some damage to enemies along the way, and it persists for 7 seconds, attacking enemies for the same damage and splashing for 50%. Now, I don't know if it's targetable. I feel like that'd be really interesting to find out, because if it is targetable, you can just like have your entire team like focus it down and it's not a big deal. But if it's not targetable, you could just like throw this behind structures, assuming it attacks structures. It doesn't actually say. But if it does attack structures and it's untargetable by structures, you could just like throw this behind like the towers and walls, like kind of how you use the Garden Terror's W ability, And that'd be pretty interesting, because it's a super short cooldown. This could be a really strong sieging ability. And then the retarget, you can just move it. Pyroblast. This I'm really excited for this. 50-second cooldown, which is really low, honestly. After 2 seconds, which is a long time, cast a slow-moving fireball that deals 1,600 damage to an enemy hero. 1,600 damage to a single hero, and it's not avoidable. Like when you cast, I assume maybe it works kind of like Tyrael's Judgment. Like if you're casting it and they go out of vision, like you can't cast it anymore, something like that maybe, and that would suck. But if it like locks on and it's still chasing you, 1,600 damage guaranteed. This could be like, this is kind of like, you could use this as almost a Nova triple tap. Maybe you could. I don't think it's very useful for that because it also deals 800 damage to nearby enemies. This is a really strong teamfight ultimate. I think Phoenix is as well. Really good ultimates for team fighting. And then the Verdant Spheres. Let's look at the talents. Now, these are subject to change. Some of them, I think, yeah, like level 4 only has 2 listed. Maybe he only has 2. Who knows? But these are all that's listed. I haven't actually looked at these. I just looked at how many there are. And so, yeah. Level 1, Convection. Flame Strike deals 20% bonus damage to enemies stunned by gravity lapse. Okay, this kind of segues pretty well. I should have talked about this a little earlier, but there's a really nice combo here with gravity lapse and the talents reflected. You can gravity lapse someone, or gravity lapse first 3 people, and then flame strike under them, and living bomb after. There's so much combo ability. You could even like gravity lapse somebody and then pyroblast them, because like that's a 1.5 second stun. That means you only need 0.5 seconds to finish the cast, and if they're below 1,600 health, they die. Oh my gosh, that is dirty. That is so dirty. But yeah, this is kind of cool. I like how they kind of say, look, there's a combo here. Use it. It's cool. Energy Royal. Gravity Lapse's cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds for each enemy hit. What's the cooldown now? 13 seconds, so it's really long. But if you hit 3 people, that's 9 seconds off of it. So that's a 3 second, 3 seconds until you have another stun. That's pretty good. But that's assuming you hit like 3 targets. This means you can stun more, but this means you deal more damage for the combo. Fell Infusion. Heal for 26 health when you activate Verdant Spheres. I need to know what the actual number is, and like what the health is of Kael'thas, and how big this is, and how often you get a Verdant Sphere. Like, I just don't know enough to actually rate this. This could be decent if you get like Verdant Spheres all the time. Mana Addict. Increase your maximum mana by 15 when you pick up a regen globe. Whoa. That's a lot of mana. That's a lot of mana. Because you're not, like, it's not every 3 like Conjurer's Pursuit. It's actually just every time. That's what it looks like. That could be pretty good. This is probably the safe option, I suppose. So is this, I guess. If you don't want to ever run out of mana. So I might take this a lot, honestly. I like that. Mana Tap. Flame Strike restores 20 mana per enemy killed. There's a lot of mana-related abilities or talents. Oh, it's per enemy killed. So this kind of means like you'd want this if you're pushing a lot, maybe. I need to know if Flame Strike can one-shot minion waves, then this is probably pretty good. Netherwind increases Gravity Lapse's range and speed by 30%. Okay. I feel like if you're taking Mana Addict, you don't really need to take Mana Tap. But it kind of depends. Like, we have to actually test these things first, but I feel like Netherwind's the better choice for like damage and like comboing, because like this is a really fast speed increase and range increase. That's pretty good. Fission Bomb. Fission Bomb increases Living Bomb's explosion damage by 75%. Whoa! Whoa! What was the damage? So half. So that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That could be good. That could be really good. Let's look at the other ones, though. Sunfire Enchantment. Activating Verdant Spheres causes your next basic attack to instead shoot a spell doing 78 damage. Okay. I need to know how significant this is. Because, maybe this is, like, super overpowered. I don't really know what 78 damage is. So we'd have to see that first. Tri-Optimal reduces Verdant Sphere's cooldown. Okay, so it does have a cooldown. Oh, so maybe it's like, maybe it's not like a charge system. Maybe it's like Like you get one. Oh, okay. Maybe you can't like pool verdant spheres. Like maybe you'll only get like one per time. I don't really like that if that's the case. Like you press D and you only get one verdant sphere. That's probably more balanced, but I don't know. I wanted to do some dirty things. So 2 seconds per target with gravity labs. So this is probably pretty good. Like if you're using verdant spheres with your gravity labs, um, it's probably pretty good if you hit like 3 targets as well. And you could also take this with what is it, Netherwind and Energy Royal. I could be pretty good. Phoenix, Pyroblast, okay. Chain Bomb. Living Bomb's explosion applies Living Bomb to enemies. Whoa! I'm seeing a build here. I'm seeing a Living Bomb build. Living Bomb's explosion applies Living Bomb to enemies. Whoa, man. This seems so good. Maybe Living Bomb just doesn't do any damage. Maybe it's like really weak, but then you'd take the explosion damage by 50% increase. I like this. I like this. Flamethrower increases the caster into flame strike. Okay, that's pretty good. That's, it's like Tassadar's talent where you increase the psionic storm. But this is even more, 50%. Man, that's actually pretty massive. Pyromaniac. Every tick of Living Bomb's damage over time effect reduces basic ability. Okay. That's not... I think this is better. Just because it's more damage. Probably. Like, if this affected heroics, I might say this is probably better. I wish I could take both of these. They're so good. This is okay, I think. I think this is better, though. I don't know. This is pretty good, though. Like, if you're unsure, you can take Pyromaniac, and you won't be too far gone, I don't think. I think it's still good. Arcane Barrier. Arcane Barrier, cooldown 45 seconds. Activate to gain a shield equal to 200% of your maximum mana. Oh, there's a combo. You take Mana Addict, and you take Arcane Barrier. That could actually be a lot of mana. And a lot of shielding. This could actually be kind of crazy. Let's look at what the other talents are on this that can actually compete with that. Backdraft. Living Bomb's explosion slows enemy movement speed by 40% per 2.5 seconds. That's pretty decent. That's a long slow. That's a pretty long slow. Gravity Throw. Increases the duration of Gravity Lapse's stun by 33%, cause it to instantly destroy minions. That seems like... This is okay. Like, the instantly destroy minions, like, okay, fine, whatever. But the 33% increased stun... How long does it stun now? 1.25? 1.5? What's the math? I assume that doesn't take it over 2 seconds. But it's pretty close to 2 seconds, so you can do the Pyroblast Gravity Throw thing. Ignite. Flame Strike also applies Living Bomb to heroes. These are some pretty good options. I like all of these. I really like all of these. I think this is better if, like, maybe there's a Nova on the enemy team, or Zeratul, or someone who's going to be jumping on you. This is definitely going to be the better one. Like, I also have to see how much of a shield this is, like, in practicality. Like, in-game, how massive is this shield? Because it's only a 45-second cooldown. That could be pretty big. This, like, if you're going for the Living Bomb build that's kind of showed up, this could be really good. Because I assume it interacts the same way, like, if you flame strike someone and you have ignite, like it'll and if they have a living bomb ticking on them, like they'll explode and get a new living bomb on them. I assume that's how this would work. I don't have any reason to think otherwise. Presence of Mind. Increases Pyroblast explosion radius to 50% and reduces its cooldown by 10 seconds per enemy hero hit. Wait a minute. Pyroblast. 50 seconds! What? What? Whoa. 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 You could get an instant Pyroblast from this. If you hit all 5... If they have like a lot... Does it count for Lost Vikings? Oh, I want it to count for Lost Vikings. Oh my gosh. If it works for Lost Vikings, Kael'thas, if you take Pyroblast, is going to be great versus Lost Vikings as long as you're taking Presence of Mind, because like they're always grouped up. Man. And it increases the radius. Like, this is really good. This is really good. I like this a lot. That could be a double Pyroblast, which could be a triple Pyroblast. You could Pyroblast until everyone's dead, basically, if you get this and you hit every hero all the time. Like this makes me think that Kael'thas is going to have a really strong spot in like wombo combo teams. So like Diablo, maybe Zeratul. You can't really target people while they're in the Void Prison. He's still pretty good though. Who else? Like Uther, Vala, I suppose. Let's look at Rebirth. Rebirth increases Phoenix duration by 100%. Okay, that's actually pretty good. You may order the Phoenix to move to a different location. Okay, how long does it last normally? 7 seconds, so it's 14-second. That's pretty good. It also deals like 100% more damage since you're increasing the duration by 100%. So that's pretty good. Like I still need to know if this can like siege before I like it. Obviously, I think these are both good enough that whatever like I'm sure he's gonna get other level 20 talents like Bolt of the Storm maybe stuff like that. It'd be funny if he got like Rewind. Oh, that'd be funny. But this, I like. Sure, you can argue that like Pyroblast takes 2 seconds to cast, and it has like a slow travel speed. But just think about it. Think about the double Pyroblast. Like if you're in a CC heavy team and you can lock people down in a small area, I feel like you have to take Presence of Mind. It just seems like it can be so abusable. It seems so good. And this is also very good. Really, I'm actually pretty impressed with all these talents. Like, there's actually like, there are no like talents where I'm like, oh, that's awful. Like, all of these are pretty decent. You have to test things like, you have to test Fel Infusion to see if it's actually relevant, and you have to see like how much shielding Arcane Barrier actually gives and stuff like that. But all of these on paper look really, really solid. And I'm really, really excited to try out Kael'thas on Tuesday. And make sure to tune in for that. We'll definitely have a Kael'thas video going up on Tuesday as soon as the patch is live and we get a couple games in so we can test out all of his abilities. So, yeah, look forward to that. All right, well, those are my first impressions of Kael'thas the Sun King. He looks really, really strong, man. Like his abilities just as base look really strong, and like he has such good. I feel like he's gonna have a lot of good synergies with people, with so many heroes. Just because, like, for instance, if you like Verdant Sphere Gravity Lapse, that's like, and that's a 1.5-second stun. That's plenty of time for your team to like get set up and like you're ready to stun him again or do something about him. You know, Living Bomb just seems like it's gonna have some crazy talent interactions, and you gotta test this stuff first. Like, it looks so interesting. And Flame Strike, just a great ability. 7-second cooldown, like a Blizzard, I assume. Like, I think it's a little smaller than a Blizzard, so similar, at least. But yeah, Kael'thas. I'm excited. You should be excited. Tuesday's coming, boys. All right. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that stuff, etc., etc. And with that all being said, I've been Maelstrom, and I'll see you next time.